The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, and got my whole crew with me this morning, Pedro and Miss Carol. So good morning, y'all.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Tuesday.
Oh, no,
Pedro.
Tuesday. You know, I've been partying.
I was getting ready to say, you can tell Pedro enjoyed his Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody else did as well. So.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, tonight, as far as our interest groups, we got two. It's Ladies' Night. We got makeup application and skincare with Aletha Donaldson at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then we also have our ladies support group at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So ladies, come on out, check them out, get started at 5 o'clock. And like I said, do some... whatever you want to call it, what you ladies do when you get together. I don't know, especially talking about makeup and stuff. So enjoy yourself. That's all I. But anyway, it was a great weekend. We had a lot of fun over the weekend. Sunday, we had a little gathering for my daughter graduated with an associate's and as well as license in cosmetology, and my grandson graduated with going into high school. So, had a bunch of folks over, Pedro and his family, and they all came out and hung out, and man, we had a nice time. Everybody played in the pool and all that good stuff. So it was a great time to be had. So, there was a lot of food left over, too.
Ship some here to Dallas. I'll take it.
Well, we definitely, I shouldn't say we, because all I did was make a pot of chili. But no, my daughters, they definitely made sure there was plenty of food to go around. So, anyway, either that or a bunch of people didn't show up, one or the other. I don't know. But anyway, I'm grateful for the leftovers as well. But anyway, let's get into these articles this morning. I just chose the three top kind of like trending headlines that's going on in the nation right now. And first thing on the list that they talking about is jumping off down in New Orleans. So check this out and we'll talk on the other side.
Good morning, Blind United family. Grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive deep into some significant national news that continues to develop. The dramatic story of the New Orleans jailbreak has been captivating headlines, and recent updates bring us closer to understanding the full scope of this audacious escape. On May 16th, 10 inmates executed a daring breakout from the Orleans Parish Justice Center, a facility usually considered high security. Their method was quite intricate. They managed to force open a faulty cell door, then breached a wall situated behind a toilet, creating an unexpected pathway to freedom. After navigating this internal barrier, they then faced and successfully scaled a barbed wire fence, completing their escape from the correctional facility. This incident immediately triggered a massive manhunt across several states. Image description. Imagine a detailed, technical drawing or an architect's blueprint-style illustration. In the foreground, there would be a cross-section view of a concrete prison cell wall, clearly showing a jagged, irregular hole near the base. Inside this hole, you would see exposed rebar, steel reinforcing bars, twisted and bent, along with broken sections of plumbing pipes indicative of where a toilet had been forcibly removed or destroyed. The opening would look just large enough for a person to squeeze through. Beyond this breach, the drawing would extend to show another layer of security, perhaps a stylized representation of a tall, chain-link fence topped with tightly coiled razor wire, depicting the external barrier the inmates also had to overcome. The overall impression would be one of determined effort and significant structural damage. Authorities have been diligently working around the clock, deploying significant resources to track down those who fled. As of May 26th, substantial progress has been made in bringing the escapees back into custody. 3 more of the original 10 have been successfully apprehended, bringing the total number of recaptured inmates to 8. This includes Lenton Van Buren, who was located and taken into custody in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Additionally, Leo Tate and Jermaine Donald were both arrested in Walker County, Texas, following a high-speed chase, demonstrating the broad reach of the search efforts. These captures are a testament to the persistent work of law enforcement agencies. Despite these successes, 2 inmates still remain at large, continuing to evade capture. These individuals are Antoine T. Massey and Derek Groves. Law enforcement agencies are urging the public to remain vigilant and report any information that could lead to their apprehension, emphasizing that these individuals should be considered dangerous. The Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office has also launched a full and thorough investigation into the security lapses that allowed such a significant escape to happen. This internal inquiry aims to identify and rectify any weaknesses in the facility's security protocols and procedures. Furthermore, several individuals have been arrested for allegedly aiding the inmates in their escape, including a jail maintenance worker who is accused of intentionally shutting off water to a specific cell that was used in the breakout, suggesting a level of inside assistance. This ongoing situation highlights not only the critical challenges law enforcement faces in maintaining the integrity of correctional facilities, but also the broader implications for public safety when such incidents occur. It prompts important questions about infrastructure, personnel training, and the effectiveness of security measures. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this developing story. What do you think about the progress of the manhunt or the reported security issues at the jail? Share your comments below. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Okay. Well, before we get started, I'm going to say welcome, Chris. Christopher Cooley is somebody that's been a friend of mine on Facebook for many years now. But anyway, he's watching out of Tennessee.
We lost your mic, Ed.
Yeah, you lost your mic, Ed. So, welcome, Chris. Thank you.
Welcome, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Carol. But as Ed fixes that, hey, I noticed something new. The description of the layout of the prison and the picture that they had in that article was described to us.
It
That was unique.
Yeah, it is. I got it to where it's doing that for us now. So,
Hey,
just trying to tweak it as best I can for our, for our audience. So
that's
very
from
nice.
our Blind United Interest Groups. Ed has been learning as well.
Of course.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
I mean, I can't preach it if I don't do it, right?
You're right. You're right.
So, but anyway, yeah, no, like I said, Chris is a friend of mine who's been around a long time. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, I think this is crazy, man. I mean, the inside help that they had to get. I mean, I don't know if you heard where they said that, evidently a maintenance man got arrested. He had literally turned the water off to that toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it kind of just shows also, how resourceful people can be when they locked up, just because they sitting up in there and you don't think they got nothing, they got resources. They can make some stuff happen, they got these people to help them out, and they were able to, not only, break out through that cell. I mean, they all 10 must have been in the same cell. So, not knowing how their jail is laid out or whatever, they probably had about 5 bunk beds up in there, and either you go or maybe something might happen to you if you don't go, You know what I'm saying? So everybody took their chances and hit the wall and had to get out and get across that razor wire. Oh my goodness! So
Right?
that's some crazy stuff. So, but anyway, they said what the last two was caught. I don't know how close is that to you, Carol? Walker County.
Walker is it's probably, I'm gonna say probably about 6 hours away. So it's
Oh,
not
okay.
too close, but it's close. It's too close for me.
Well, well, it was heading in your direction.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Well,
sir.
You know. So, but I mean,
yeah.
again, you gotta stay on top of these folks. You gotta keep your eyes open and keep your eyes on them and all that kind of stuff. And now that we know they out there, there's still two more at large. So again,
Hmm.
hey, keep your eye out for them. Or well, we can't do that, but
Of course.
just let everybody know, hey, there's still two inmates running around out here somewhere.
Hmm.
But no, I mean, again, they got to do more. I mean, these guards, they just get really comfortable in their position, and they just think that that the place where these folks are being held is impenetrable. And well, here we go. Evidently, it's not. So, hope they work it out and do a better job with it. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway,
Oh, really?
that's what I got.
I mean, for me, I see a motion picture coming about. Like you say, is they were very resourceful, and that razor wire. I mean, some gymnasts in the making. Can you imagine how desperate they had to be for freedom to jump over that razor wire and be able to stay away for a length of time to where people didn't notice anything? They, like you said, they had inside help, and I'm sure money exchanged hands because ain't nobody gonna do nothing that's gonna risk their job for free. At least I know on my side. But it just shows that a lot of these prisons, they're old, and a lot of people who have been there for a while, they are paying attention and always trying to look towards freedom. A caged animal eventually is going to find a way out. So I'm not saying that humans are animals, but of course, freedom is a motivator to get you out if you have nothing else to lose. So, I ain't applauding these gentlemen, but man, the effort that they went through to get free. So I'm hoping they do catch the other two. I hope they not, a little bit closer to me since they got kind of close in the first place. So, be on the lookout, everybody. Hey, help our community out, please.
Well, ain't no telling what direction them other guys went into, but
Hmm.
but again, I mean, and man, I mean, I'm sorry, but it just, for me, there's no way in the world I believe that they could have removed, for anybody that's been locked up. I mean, again, I've never been locked up in New Orleans or Louisiana, period, so I don't know. But
Me either.
most of the places that I have visited, that toilet and that sink and all that stuff is one unit. You know what I'm saying? It's made out of stainless steel most of the time, and man, I can't believe that you ripped that out the way and punched a hole in that concrete wall, in a short period of time. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It seemed like it would have took a long time for that to happen. But anyway, what you got, Pedro?
Yeah. Well, it must have been a little faulty. And these gentlemen, they probably got tools, used leverage and stuff like that. And if the toilet was faulty and a little off the wall, little, you could use leverage to pry it open, to pry it off. And with the janitor that turned off the water, I wonder, the convincing that they had to convince that gentleman to do that. I don't know if it was someone within the prison working as a janitor and had access to that, or if it was a worker from the outside. And I don't know, because I can't see it that a worker would do that. I could see another prisoner and they'd be like, well, we're gonna get you if you don't do this for us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
um
I,
But
I
money
mean, I
motivates,
do.
Pedro.
I mean, I do, but again, we don't know what the
the
regulations
specifics.
are in that state. I
Yes.
mean, here in California, I do know that that worker would be per se an inmate,
Mm-hmm.
because most, well, the ones out here in California, yeah, there will be a what we call a free man, maintenance man, but he basically just supervises inmates to do the maintenance.
Like a
Mm.
trustee or something like that.
Yeah, kind of
Okay,
Mm.
okay.
situation.
And then also for now prying that out, they had to go and scale this fence, this barbed wire fence, and that is not so tough. The razor wires you could plan for. They had to have plans for all that. They're not just gonna go like loose. Most likely had long sweaters and all that. Most likely they have a couple mattresses. People get all creative. You could try to put a couple together, put a sheet over all those mattresses, like put them all together and toss it over the wire. You know.
I
And
mean, there's
and
ways
there,
to
how
make
many
it
was there?
happen.
How many were there?
10
Like
of them. It was 10
10
of
of
them,
them.
the
Hey,
river.
I can see it. Like, you know what I mean?
I
Right.
hear
So
you.
yeah, humans are resourceful, especially put in a situation like that. And then, like you're saying, you could easily see them in a cell, like 5 men in a cell, and you know what I mean. Those cells are small. You got body, or you're in confined places. People be like, man, I need to get the hell out of here. So, you know. So
Well,
it's
Right.
there's a
crazy. I'm
will,
not
there's a
saying it's
way.
right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying humans get resourceful when they get put in a certain.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
And
no, I mean, I get that, but at the same time, let's go here. We
hmm
talking about, in the middle of the night, whatever, they bounce, right?
hmm
Those guards that sit in them towers, I mean, every prison I done ever seen, and I done been all the way across country, but every one that I've ever viewed, they got a guard tower on every corner of every yard so he can
hmm
watch that fence line.
And
How
they're
did,
armed, right?
come on,
so
Ed. We're
how did,
taking a snooze, a smoke, something. Guards, they're human too. They're not perfect. Sometimes
okay, but they're sitting in that guard tower by
I know.
themselves. It ain't like you got a break and you don't have to look no more. You know what I'm saying? You can stand right there and walk around that guard
You know what
tower
it is? You know what it
with a
is, Ed?
cigarette hanging out of the cord in your mouth. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
No, but
With
you know
your
what it is
rifle,
though?
walking.
Yeah. You know what it is though? That phone, maybe. They might need to take that phone
Mm.
out of that in there from them, because that's what they're doing in schools, and it could
Well,
be.
personal phones, yeah, I can see that.
On the
At the
phone.
same time, I'm like, again, they might have gotten too comfortable, and the
Mm-hmm.
guy said, "Well, this is always bored. I can catch me a little, 2, 3 hours worth of sleep right here, right quick." You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Ain't nobody up here, whatever. The radio's gonna go off, or the phone is gonna go off if somebody wants to talk to me. That's gonna wake me up. So I'm gonna catch my nap. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more likely what happened. You know what
Could
I'm
That's what
be.
saying?
happened. That could
Because you
be.
look at
That's what happened with Epstein.
So
because you look at the
Go
fact
ahead.
that,
sad.
no, they don't expect anybody to jump over that wall. So it's just
Exactly.
relaxed, nobody, it's just an easy job for them, they assume. And they
But
probably were taking a nap or on a phone call or whatever it was. And here these 10 guys come because
You.
they are armed, so they could
Mm-hmm,
have shot
mm-hmm.
somebody, but that's the only likely scenario I can see is they were
Also,
asleep.
yeah,
trust
and
and
also
believe it.
some
And
heads are
these
gonna
10
roll.
guys had to have known their behavior in order to
Mm-hmm.
know exactly when to bust out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're
Well,
not going
trust
to
and
take that big
believe.
of a chance against a rifle jumping a
Oh, that's
wire
okay,
fence.
of
Come
course.
on.
Well, trust and believe. I've been told by California CDC officers that it is boring up in that tower. Number one, so that tells me that you had the potential to go to sleep right there. Number two, had you been alert, trust and believe. You picked that first one off the wall as he's going over that fence.
The
Rest
rest
of
of
them
them
ain't
going to
going
halt.
nowhere. They
Mm-mm.
Warning
they
shot.
They going to halt. They ain't
they gonna lay
budging
down on the
nowhere.
ground, or they gonna
Mm-hmm.
turn around and crawl right back in that hole and get back in their cell.
Hey, might even put the toilet back and stuff. We're stuck on everything, make it look all nice again.
Play it off and say, "Oh, it wasn't me."
Right. I didn't hear nothing. I've been asleep the whole time.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. But anyway, that is some really, really crazy
Whoa.
stuff. So
I hope they do catch the two guys that are still out there, really.
well, and again, they are dangerous because it does show the desperateness in them,
Oh
So
yeah.
hopefully they get these guys caught pretty soon. So, but anyway, we're gonna move to some promos and get into this next article. So we'll be right back with y'all. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
June 21st, got a vibe so right. Come through the service and a day tonight. It's Blind United, yeah, we're bringing the flair. Crafts and colors floating in the air. Jewels that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. Jewel that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. You want a table, just $25. Bring your vision, your craft, your luck. Vendors welcome, come show your pride. Let your work shine, let your soul ride. It's more than a fair, it's a moment to share with a community that truly cares. So email us now, don't miss your spot. info@blindunited.org, we got a lot. Jewels that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. So come vibe with the crew, enjoy the day. Blind United has got it set our way. June 21st, bring your smile and light. Art and love, yeah, we'll shine so bright.
Well, all right. Well, again, crafting thing is going on, y'all. It's getting ready to happen. You actually have until the 10th if you want to become a vendor and come out and sell your products. Again, till the 10th of June. That's the cutoff date. And that's just to ensure that we have everything we need and we can promote, what people are selling and all that kind of good stuff. So if you want to get a table, like I said, you got till June 10th. If not, man, stack up your cash and get ready because 21st is going down and got a lot of products out there that people are, have created at home and they trying to sell, So come on out and hang out with us. Christopher says he don't know how they got through and made that hole in the wall either. And then his next comment, he was laughing out loud. So anyway, we're going to jump into this next article. This cat here, man, well, there's two of them really. Well, let's play the article, then we can talk about this on the other side. Don't I? Because I'll be done gave too much of it away.
Good morning, Blind United family. Pour another cup of coffee, and let's dive deep into another significant national news story that has stirred considerable discussion. President Donald Trump recently announced a full and unconditional pardon for Scott Jenkins, the former sheriff of Culpeper County, Virginia. This decision comes as Jenkins was facing a 10-year prison sentence, having been convicted on federal bribery and fraud charges. The conviction, which occurred in December of last year, centered on allegations that Jenkins engaged in a cash-for-badges scheme, accepting over $75,000 in bribes. These payments, which included both cash and campaign contributions, were allegedly made in exchange for appointing several businessmen as auxiliary deputy sheriffs. Federal prosecutors argued that these individuals, despite paying significant sums, were not properly trained or vetted and did not perform any legitimate services for the sheriff's office. Image description: imagine a legal-themed visual. In the foreground, there would be a classic wooden gavel lying horizontally on top of a stack of official-looking court documents or legal briefs, symbolizing the judicial process and a conviction. Adjacent to this, positioned slightly above the documents, you would see a hand, specifically resembling President Trump's, poised as if to press down a large, bold, red pardon stamp onto the legal papers. The stamp itself would be clearly legible. The background might subtly feature a blurred image of the exterior of a courthouse or the U.S. Capitol building, reinforcing the national and legal context of the event. This visual composition would succinctly convey the action of a presidential pardon directly impacting a legal verdict. According to court documents and trial evidence, 2 undercover FBI agents were among those who testified against Jenkins, claiming they were sworn in as auxiliary deputies in 2022 and immediately thereafter gave Jenkins envelopes containing $5,000 and $10,000 cash, respectively. Jenkins, for his part, took the stand in his own defense, maintaining that there was no connection between the payments he received and the badges he distributed. His defense team had also appealed his conviction in April, seeking to overturn the jury's verdict. President Trump announced the pardon via his social media platform, Truth Social, on Monday, May 26th. In his post, he stated that Jenkins and his family have been dragged through hell by a corrupt and weaponized Biden DOJ. He further characterized Sheriff Jenkins as a victim of an overzealous Biden Department of Justice who doesn't deserve to spend a single day in jail. Trump also alleged that during Jenkins's trial, the presiding judge, a Biden appointee, refused to allow exculpatory evidence, shut him down, and then went on a tirade. This narrative frames the pardon as a response to what the president described as political persecution and an unfair legal process. This pardon is not an isolated incident. It follows a pattern of President Trump granting clemency to individuals he views as loyal supporters or victims of what he deems politically motivated prosecutions. Previous pardons have included figures like former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich and Nevada Republican Michelle Fiore. Such actions often spark considerable debate about the nature and exercise of presidential pardon power, its role in the justice system, and its potential implications for accountability, especially for public officials. Critics often argue that such pardons can undermine the rule of law and send a message that political loyalty can override judicial outcomes. Conversely, supporters might view them as necessary checks on what they perceive as judicial overreach or politically charged prosecutions. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this latest presidential pardon. What are your perspectives on the use of pardon power in cases like this? Share your comments below. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, me personally, I believe he's trying to legitimize receiving bribes. I just think that's what it is. I mean, again, this man then took over $75,000. You know what I'm saying? And to give people an auxiliary sheriff's badge, right? What is that badge going to do? Okay, well, probably get him out of parking tickets. Probably shows favor with the county sheriffs in that area. Different. Who knows what kind of perks they're giving out with those badges down there? But again, this man is just, no, you're wrong. You can't do that. These people are not trained. They have nothing to offer, the sheriff department, there's nothing of value to bring to the table. So again, it's a favor, and it's a favor that was paid off with a bribe. You know what I'm saying? And yes, he was duly tried and convicted. And regardless of what Trump wants to say, the man was convicted in March of 2025. I'm sorry, sir, but that's your DOJ. You took office in January 20th. So anything after that is on you, partner, no matter how much you try to shift it to somebody else. So your Department of Justice continued to pursue that conviction, and they got it. And now you want to reverse it. I mean, look at these other people he's, talking pardoned. You know what I'm saying? I heard this morning. Guess who else is on his list of folks to be pardoned
Who?
on a federal level? What's his name? Derek Chauvin.
Mm.
You guys remember who Derek Chauvin
Why it
is?
sounds familiar?
He's the guy that
Oh.
killed George Floyd.
Mm,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
yes,
Okay, so
yes, yes.
he can pardon him on the federal charges, but Derek's not getting out because he was also convicted on the state level.
Yes, yes. And there's a pattern there with Trump and pardoning people and what I say criminals because he even pardoned the January 6th, even the ones that did assaults on the police officers. He could have probably
Yeah.
stopped there, and not pardoned those, I guess, but he pardoned a lot of criminals. Plus, y'all didn't saw what happened. They were taking a photo. Karen Levitt, the secretary, the press secretary, and they had a police officer from the January 6th there, and they asked him to move out the picture and stuff. It's a video online. It's going viral right now, but the whole thing that they care about law and order, law and order. That's all you heard 2016, and look at him now. The the you know
I mean, he's using the law as a political weapon. I mean, and then what laws he don't like, he just ignores. And then I mean, come on, man, these folks are legitimately, convicted. Even himself, okay?
mhm
The
mhm
grand jury. It wasn't no Biden judge, it wasn't no Biden prosecutor, it wasn't nothing had to do with Biden or Obama or anybody else. All of that evidence was taken to what do they call that? The well, you have the grand jury, okay,
mhm
and the grand jury gave them authorization to pursue, okay.
mhm
That
mhm.
so and again, look at him. He got convicted. Had he not been elected president again,
He's
he
a
might
criminal.
be in prison by now.
Right now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was the statement from the prosecution handler of that case. He came out and said he would have gone to jail.
Yeah,
Um and you know it's a shame that we have fallen this low you know and he pardons a lot of these people and like the article says he's pardoning loyalists. He's straight making bribery legal. Even though we could say he has immunity, that's why he's doing this. It's not legal, but there should be ways to counteract this for the future. You know what I mean? Because he's pushing certain bounds and he's trying to establish that the executive branch is above the courts, the House and the Senate as well.
even though they are equal parts of the government.
Correct. And he's trying to take the only thing that the courts have to kind of put pressure on some of these proceedings and some of these things too. I was listening about this thing that he put in this big beautiful bill, the big beautiful bill, you know? So
Well, if
this
you're talking
dude
about where
moves
he's
like a
trying to,
criminal.
I mean, I think you're talking about in there where he's trying to he slid it into the big, beautiful bill that he wanted to remove judges' power to be able to impose a nationwide,
Exactly.
protection order or whatever, cease and desist, whatever, from
Against.
these everything he's doing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Just like right now, again, look at what he's doing, going after, was it Harvard? Come on, man.
El
The college.
Capone. He's El Capone in the presidency, straight out.
I mean, just look at all the gangster moves he done did since he took office. I mean,
Straight out.
day one, he pardoned all of the January 6th people.
Yeah.
Before he accepted, took the oath of office, went right back to the White House and sat down and started writing pardons. Okay, between the pardons and the executive orders that
Hmm.
don't fly. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff he's writing executive orders for, he cannot do. They have to have Congress approval for those things to go through. Again,
But
a lot.
but Ed, you know where what happened, and you know why he feels emboldened like that? Because we haven't held any presidency, starting with George Bush and the illegal war they did in Afghanistan, with the lies that they gave to the American public. They didn't go to like they started in other wars without going to Congress or nothing. So it started an incentive there. This person Trump just came in and started pushing the line more.
Well, I mean, again, and he's going to push it and push it and push it until and thank God he's getting pushed back, right? I mean, because not only is the Democratic Party not, they're pushing back hard as well, but now,
Well, some of them.
well, the
More
majority of
so
the
than before. More so
Yes,
than before.
that's true too.
the majority of Democrats are pushing back. There's probably a few, I don't even think there's a full handful of them. But again, on the Republican side, now he's got people that are saying, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. But now this bill has made it to the Senate. The Senate has already said this bill is dead on arrival.
Hmm.
They're going to go in there, they're going to make some serious changes. A lot of that stuff that he done slid in there, it ain't going to fly. The Senate.
As it shouldn't.
Right, as they
Um,
should. They're gonna pull that stuff out of the bill, and then it's got to go back to Congress. They're gonna try to slide some stuff back in there, and it's gonna go back to the Senate. Who knows? This big, beautiful bill might not ever really get passed. It's never gonna get passed in the form that it left Congress in. That's for sure.
Yes, and I don't understand how certain people that follow Trump and is behind Trump, and as as he says, this is gonna improve our health system and stuff like that, when the bill is cutting and cutting on social net programs, and it's not, and it's gonna go against the base of his supporters. I don't understand it. And it's that sphere that they keep just listening and believing him
well, a
you
lot of that
know
is happening, like you saying, Pedro. I mean, back in those smoky rooms, we don't know. It's no transparency. We don't know what they're actually discussing.
and you're
We
correct,
don't know
because
what's being exchanged under the table. We have no
hmm
clue.
yeah, you're
Because
correct,
surely
you're correct.
anyone with a brain would know better. But it's got to be something that's motivating them
Well,
towards him.
he's
And we're
doing it
just not
brazenly.
right, right.
Yeah, because did y'all hear that he had a crypto meeting with no media, only private investors? He called it his personal time. He promised his mega supporters he was gonna get out of his business and put the businesses aside, and all this. I remember, what was the president that had a peanut farm that he
That was
had to
Jimmy
sell?
Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
There you go.
Hmm.
He had to sell his peanut farm because they thought it was gonna be an influence, and donors could put money in there and all this, and influence him. And look at us here, what, 20, 30 years later, and look at where we at. This
Well,
this
again, they're
person did not breaks all his promises.
Well, but again, let's be clear. They're not ordered to sell. They're ordered to put their business affairs in a blind trust
Yes.
and let somebody else take care of it, not them. They are not supposed to have anything to do with their businesses while they are in office. So supposedly his family is, running the business. But bottom line, you are participating. You went
Hmm.
to that dinner. You the one that put it out
He
there,
was the speaker.
that's my point. I mean, he's
Exactly.
the one. He also put it out there that the top whatever donors get to have a dinner. With us. He wanted to do that dinner at the White House. They told him, "Oh no, you will not."
Right.
So
Hmm.
he did it in Virginia.
And the special guest, guess who was the special guest? Another criminal that he pardoned that has his watch on his hand.
The one that says
He's a
rump.
millionaire. He went in and he was like a special guest in that whole event. And his
Well,
background, what was
but
his?
it was a lot of people also. I mean, I don't know if this gentleman is one of them or not, but I know that there was a bunch of them folks that showed up for that dinner. They wore masks because they did not want the public to know that they were participating in this scam.
Now, isn't
You
that
know,
something?
Ooh,
that's truly,
okay.
truly sad. But again,
Hmm.
he's not supposed to have anything to do with any of this kind of stuff while he's in office. So therefore, again, every time he turns around, in his mind, I believe he believes that if he does it in plain sight, it's not breaking the law. I don't know
No,
how his mind
there is
gets twisted that way. I
No,
mean, you
no,
literally heard him say that he could stand that on Fifth and Broadway and shoot somebody and
there,
not get convicted.
there is a
mm,
theory. There's a
mm.
theory. Okay, there's a collective of people that are in higher places that believe, as long as they tell you their plans and stuff, that it doesn't count as doing evil or anything bad or sinning, because they're letting you know in front of you. But if you know and you don't decide to do anything, then that's your fault. It's put on you. Some people
Wow.
have that belief. There's a theory on this belief. There's a name for this believement of that type.
Entitlement. Entitlement. I think that's probably what it is. Because
Well,
people with money, unfortunately, they think that they're able to get away with certain things. You let somebody that doesn't have anything say something, and they
Mm-hmm.
got them. They got them just on their word, not on the act that they were talking about. Just
Mm-hmm.
voicing it can get you in trouble.
And he says so many lies over and over again so people can believe it. He uses that as a strategy over and over. He keeps saying it and saying it and saying it. We don't believe them, but his core followers
they
had that
believe every
cult
word he says.
following. And they
They
believe
believe
it. Hmm.
every bit of it.
And
So,
that's crazy.
but
Absolutely crazy.
anyway, I'm the bottom line. There's more to come. I mean, actually, just let us get through this promo,
Hmm.
and you'll
Hmm.
just see
Hmm.
how there is more to come. So let's get through these promos, and we'll look at this other, really shady thing that he has done.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. Did you know that people in third world countries do not have access to canes? The You Can Give initiative gives canes to people all over the world who cannot get canes. The You Can Give initiative not only goes to these countries and gives people canes, but they give people canes and a digital recorder that is solar powered, that has instructions on how to use the cane and instructions on how to repair the cane. The You Can Give initiative is a very worthy cause, giving canes to blind people all over the world. If you have a cane that you're no longer using, or a cane that's broken or bent, you can go to youcangive.org and get a shipping label, and you can ship your cane to Jimmy in Tennessee, and he will refurbish it and can give your cane to a blind person in a third world country. That website again is youcanegive.org.
All right. Well, as I always say, hey, man, I don't know what I would do without my cane. So anything you guys can do to help Jimmy, whether it's, donating a cane or maybe going over to customcane.com and making a purchase for a cane accessory or a new cane, whatever. All those proceeds will go to you help out You Can Give. So anything you can do, I know Jimmy would really appreciate it. And for those that are planning on coming, and whether they're participating or just attending our any Blind United event, but I'm speaking about right now in our crafting showcase. Again, bring your canes. We got something special for you. If you bring a cane, donate a cane, we got a little special something for you. So come on out and bring a cane and, participate in what we got going on. So anyway, this next one is, we kind of touched on this a week or so ago, a broken promise that we made to folks that helped us during wartime. So check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Good morning, Blind United family. Grab your third cup of coffee, and let's turn our attention to a story that hits at the very core of promises made and alliances forged during wartime. A wave of strong condemnation is emerging from U.S. veterans organizations in response to a proposed Trump administration plan to end deportation protections for thousands of Afghan nationals currently residing in the United States. This decision, announced by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, targets Afghans who have been granted temporary protected status, TPS, which has shielded them from being returned to a country still largely under Taliban control. When the termination of TPS for Afghan nationals is set to expose thousands to possible deportation starting in July. A move that veterans argue is a profound betrayal of wartime allies. Point 2. Image description. Imagine a poignant visual. In the foreground, you would see two hands clasped in a firm handshake. One hand could be identifiable as belonging to a U.S. service member, perhaps indicated by a camouflage sleeve, and the other, distinctly different, belonging to an Afghan individual, perhaps with traditional attire faintly visible. Overlaid on this handshake, there would be a large, semi-transparent, jagged X or stop sign, symbolizing the breaking of a promise or the cessation of protection. In the background, subtly blurred, one might perceive a barren, dusty landscape with distant, indistinct figures, evoking the difficult conditions in Afghanistan. The overall image would powerfully represent the broken trust and the precarious situation faced by Afghan allies. Many of these Afghans provided crucial support to U.S. forces during the lengthy war in Afghanistan, serving as interpreters, cultural advisors, and vital intelligence sources. Their work often put their lives, and the lives of their families, in grave danger from the Taliban. Upon the chaotic U.S. withdrawal in 2021, many fled, seeking safety in the United States under various immigration pathways, including TPS.3 veterans, who fought alongside these individuals, feel a profound moral obligation to ensure their safety and well-being. Figures like Matt Zeller, an Army veteran whose Afghan interpreter saved his life, have warned of drastic measures, stating, if they attempt to deport the Afghans, you're going to see actual physical conflict between veterans and IC. The Trump administration justifies the termination of TPS by claiming notable improvements in Afghanistan's conditions under Taliban Rule. Point 4, however. This assertion is widely disputed by human rights organizations and veterans alike. Andrew Sullivan, a former infantry commander who works with No One Left Behind, a nonprofit supporting Afghan and Iraqi allies, branded such comments as laughable, citing reports of intensified repression, especially against women and girls, and a widespread humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. According to Human Rights Watch's 2025 report, over half the Afghan population is in need of urgent aid, with millions facing extreme hunger. This stark reality underscores the danger many Afghans would face upon return. The decision has already prompted legal action from immigrant rights groups like CASA, which have sued the administration for allegedly failing to follow proper legal procedures and for putting lawful residents at risk. Sean Vandiver, a Navy veteran and president of #AfghanEvac, an organization dedicated to helping Afghans resettle, emphasized the grave choice these individuals now face. These are people whose only crime is having lived, learned or worked in the United States. Point 6 and now, with TPS terminated and no viable pathway forward, they face an impossible choice: return to persecution or risk deportation from the very country they trusted. 7. He stressed that these are real lives, not talking points. The Taliban doesn't do performance reviews. They don't check resumes. They kill people for being associated with ADAS. This situation has created a deeply personal and moral dilemma for many veterans who believe the U.S. has a solemn duty to protect those who aided its mission abroad. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this contentious issue. How do you feel about the proposed ending of deportation protections for Afghans, especially in light of the veterans' strong reactions? Share your comments below. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Yeah, we're back, and Ed, your mic might be down. Unfortunately, it is sad. First, our triple class A rating, our credit score went down. Now, the promises has been broken for allies that assisted us as we ventured and into conflict over there in their homeland. And now with the Taliban actually taking lead and taking control of the government, um, it is sad to say that we left them there. They helped us and allies with precision, even for our veterans that were there. That's why they're upset, because they were there in the front lines while these
Mm-hmm.
people were providing information, logistics, for them to stay safe. Um, all different types of help that we received, and we left these folks back there. It is sad that we had promised them, and now we're not keeping those promises, and we pushing for deportation of them back to a hostile place where the Taliban and world reports from different nation and world organizations are saying and pointing that is still cruelty towards women and small girls.
Mm-hmm.
So only
Well,
because Trump wants to say that everything is great over there, in his opinion, I guess that's what he wants it to be over here. You know.
but let's
Go
be
ahead, Ed.
clear about something, Pedro. Number one, first, not all of the Afghanistan folks that helped us out even made it to America. We did an
Exactly.
article a little over a week or
Mm-hmm.
so ago where we talked about there's still well over 12,000 or 1,200, I'm sorry, people just in Qatar that never made it over here. Oh, Qatar, the same folks that just gave him a $400 million jet. But anyway, yeah, you got people over there. But again, these people put their life on the line. They did what their part. Now it's up to us to do our part. Okay. Remember this also: before Trump left office, he is the one that made the deal with the Taliban for us to get up out of Afghanistan. He set the deadline for us to get up out of Afghanistan. He did nothing to facilitate that evacuation of Afghanistan. He dumped every ounce of that responsibility on Biden when he took office, and he literally had no time to put a plan together to get those people out of there. He got out what he could get out. The rest of them had to flee to a different country. And now those people are stuck in those other countries. And what does Trump do? He wants to take these folks and send them back home. Why? Because they're brown skinned folks. But
And
again,
probably
That-
that's the plan too, Ed. That's why he got a plane.
but let's go here. What did he just do with these? I'm not gonna call them.
Africans. Africans.
I'm not gonna call them Afrikaners.
Okay. Okay.
They,
Okay.
Af-
Right.
they from South Africa. They African. I'm sorry.
Right. I
African.
got you. I got you. Because I agree with you. I ain't never heard
okay.
of it.
So, but now because you are gonna pull up some propaganda that says that they're being exterminated. So
Mhm.
now you want to let the white refugees in, but you want to push all the brown refugees out.
And they
Come on,
have no home
man.
to go to. They have no place to go to.
They have nowhere to go. They can't go to back to Afghanistan. Them
Nope.
Taliban are going
And
to
and
kill them,
and
the
and
whole
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
and the optics of that is that, man, if you line it up like that, hey, it looks straight prejudiced. Um, Even the R word, you could even say it's racist.
Of
You
It is
know,
course.
racist. I'm gonna
Of
call it
course it
racist.
is.
you know.
I'm not gonna bite my tongue on it. It's
No,
straight
well,
up
that
racism.
Trump is racist. I'm saying towards the government and the people in power, the way they are acting, and the Gestapo, how they using ICE as a Gestapo, as Trump's Gestapo, to go out and just gather all these folks, including judges and stuff. You
and
know.
and and look at it this way too, like it was brought up once before. These individuals that you had promised to become citizens here, now that you're deporting them back to a place where there is no place that they can call home,
Hmm.
look at these children. They're going to become terrorists. They're going to hate the United States based on a promise that was not fulfilled. So what do you
Exactly.
expect these kids to do when they come over?
Creating more enemies.
There you go.
That's all you're doing. You're creating more enemies. This makes no sense whatsoever.
It
I
does
mean,
to the military industrial complex. Unlimited war, unending war, and conflict. More weapons to be sold.
Well, the old
I
code
hear,
is
but
your word should be your bond. I mean,
That's
and
all.
most of us
again,
live by that code.
and then that's exactly where I was getting ready to go. Bottom line, weapons ain't got nothing to do with these folks. Okay, weapons ain't got nothing to do with the promises you made to these people that helped us while
Mm-hmm.
we were there fighting that conflict. Okay, that
Hmm.
I mean, if you want to sell more weapons, then you should have never brought the war to an end. Okay, you could have just dumped $100 billion worth of military over there,
Okay,
arms and whatever, and did whatever you wanted to do in that
let's
country.
just speculate for a second then. Let's say Trump would have won 2020 and he gave himself that time. You think he gave himself that time because he wanted that conflict to escalate still? He would have been, well, we're not ready and we're not bending to your thing. We need more time. We need more time. And then he was hoping that
But
maybe the
but
Taliban advanced and he was sending more troops. What do you?
no. He knew he
Hmm.
was not going to win in 2020.
Of course.
He knew because of
Okay.
the midterms when he lost the House and lost the Senate.
And that's
He
why he did that.
and he knew that, right? So
Mm.
that's why he set Biden up to fail.
You cause chaos.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Hey,
Okay,
and then
You
there's a
give them
new
an
theory.
unbelievable task that cannot be fulfilled.
There's a new theory floating out there. Y'all heard that people are thinking that Trump and these group want to bring down the position of the United States, meaning these multinational corporations and multinational citizens.
Bring them down.
Bring the like, look, our rating of our credit rating just went down. We're not keeping our promises. Uh, we're constantly bombarding our allies. You know,
well, I mean, and the
and
reason,
we're trying to side with the opposition. Our opposition, not meaning our enemies, but just because we're kind of like, been back and forth with the Cold War and all that in Russia. You know.
Mm-hmm.
but again, the main reason our credit rating went down is because of these damn tariffs. Okay,
Yeah, I'm saying
he
that's
is he's
destroy our
added
Can't get
country.
nothing sent here because of the
he's
price.
well he's added over trillion to the deficit within the first 2 years. You understand what I'm saying?
To
Ain't
breaking.
nobody going to, credit rating went down because of that. That's just making it to where we don't have the money to pay people back. I mean, who's going to pay this off? My great grandchildren?
No way. That's
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of cheddar
You
to
And
know,
collect.
Ron Paul is actually screaming. He's been screaming this out a little while now.
well, a lot of the Republicans are standing up and saying the same thing. No, I am not going to attach this debt to my grandchildren, great grandchildren, or whatever, however many generations it takes us to pay this stuff off. It just doesn't make
And
sense.
it's a
So,
payoff to the wealthy. That's
well,
what this
Oh,
bill
they
exactly.
is.
getting paid regardless.
Everybody that knows that part, right?
Hmm.
So
Mhm.
it's just them
Well,
people that are sitting back there, But the thing
whatever
about it
ears are
is,
hearing, just hear, guys. This bill will raise the cost to people living in fixed income.
well, not only that, it's gonna raise their taxes. They're gonna be paying more money in taxes on top of having their Medicaid as well as their SNAP benefits cut. So now you're losing money here, and then
Hmm.
you lose money over here. It's a double, triple lose for folks down on our end, and it's nothing but advantages to the people, in the top 10%. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's just
Hmm.
ridiculous. So
It is.
anyway, we are definitely beyond our time right now. So I'm gonna call this one to an end. And man, again, come on out, hang out with us tonight. Check out Ladies Night, starting at 5 o'clock p.m. And then, as always, in closing, we know you're there. We know you're watching. Man, come on, like, subscribe, follow, comment, share, hit the notification bell, whatever you can do on whatever platform you own. It really, really, really does help to get the
Hmm.
word out about what we're doing here in Blind United. So if you like what we're doing, please do that. If you don't like what we're doing, do it as well. So anyway, but anyway, anyway, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's recovered from their weekend, and we'll be right back with it again tomorrow on Wednesday. So everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.